Okay, so what we're going to be doing today, guys, is this video is just to cover stuff that you did just before the break, okay? We're going to be looking at negative numbers, how you add them, how you subtract them, and how you multiply and how you divide them, okay? Now, we won't get to the division stuff yet. We're just going to get to the multiplication stuff, okay? Dividing, then we'll get into when you get back into it fully, all right? Now, how notes work here is follow along with the video, okay? Only take down stuff when I tell you to take it down. Of course, pause the video so you can give yourself time to take it down. If I tell you to underline something, underline it because it's vitally important so that when you're revising it, you'll see the keywords and the key things to underline, okay? All right, so your heading that you need to take down, of course, your heading for this is adding and subtracting negative numbers. So put that center at the top of the page, okay? And then we'll take down this sentence here, okay? So if the signs are the same, okay, so if you have the same sign in either adding or subtracting, what you do is you add the two numbers together and then keep the common sign, okay? So if you have two numbers and the sign that they have is the same, either two pluses or two minuses, you add them together and keep the sign the same, okay? So an example of that is as follows, okay? So an example, e.g., okay, is simply -3, -4, okay? -3, -4. What will that give us? Okay, well, add them together because they're the same sign. Okay, so 3 plus 4 gives us 7. Okay, and keep the common sign. The common sign is the minus. So the answer here is -7. Okay, so what did I do? Again, they both had, so we'll give that a different color so it's not confuse you here. Okay, all right, so they both had a minus. Okay, so they both had a minus. Because they both had a minus, we just add the two together. They have the same sign. So I add 3 to 4. 3 plus 4 is 7. And then to determine what goes in front of it, I keep the common sign, i.e. they both had a minus. So it's a -7. Okay. Now, the next sentence you need to take down. So let me turn this back to my red pen. Okay. So take down this sentence as well. Okay, so take down this sentence after that example, and here we go. If the signs are different, so if we have two different signs now, so it's not minus and minus, plus and plus, we have a plus and a minus, or a minus and a plus, okay? What do we do now? We subtract the two numbers, but keep the sign of the bigger number. So we subtract our two numbers, but we keep the sign of the bigger number, okay? That's what you do. So take this down, pause the video, write down this sentence, and underline those key bits. All right. Now, another example that we have for this. So, example 2. What do I have here for this one? So for this one, I have two examples. Okay. So the first one is -3 plus 7. So -3 plus 7. Okay. Okay, so -3 plus 7. So what do we do? There are two different numbers. Okay, so again, I'll change the color of this pen to blue so we can deliver it, right? So are they different? Yes, we've got a minus and we've got a plus. Okay, so we subtract the two. So 7 minus 3 is what? It's 4. Okay, so 7 minus 3 is 4. So our answer is 4. What we're going to determine now, is it +4 or -4? So we look at the back here at the end of this sentence. Keep the sign of the bigger number. 7 is the bigger number and 7 is a plus. So our answer is +4. Okay? So we'll do another one. Third example. Okay? Oh, don't need an equals to there. Third example. -2 plus 1. Okay? So that's easier. All right? So there are two different signs. They are. So we subtract them. 2 minus 1 gives us 1. What's the larger number? The larger number is, of course, -2. So therefore, the answer is a minus. And there you go. That's it. Okay? Follow those steps. Keep the number, or keep the sign of the larger of the two numbers. And that's all you have to do. Okay? Right. So, let me see now. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 examples now to do for you. So what I'll do is I'll fill in the 8 examples. I'll give you a moment to find the answer, okay? Work out the calculations yourself. Are they pluses, are they minuses? And then I'll go through the answers then with you, okay? So you can write them out in your note copy as I do it, and you can answer them as you go if you wish, okay? So I'll pull this up so as to give me a bit of space. All right, so minus 5 minus 9, minus 5 plus 9, 5 minus 9. Okay, so we have the same numbers 3 times but different signs. So work that out. Okay, minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 minus 2. Okay, so minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 minus 2. All right, now we're going to get to some bigger numbers. 15 minus 25 minus 17 minus 6, and the last one minus, right there, apologies about that, minus 17 plus 14. Okay, so what do we have? Minus 5 minus 9, minus 5 plus 9, 5 minus 9. Okay, so there are going to be 3 different answers for those. Minus 1 plus 2, minus 1 minus 2, 15 minus 25, minus 17 minus 6, minus 17 plus 14. So what I advise you to do, pause the video, okay, have a go, see how you get on, put your answers in pencil, so that as we go through them, if you made a mistake, you can easily just rub it out and find the correction, okay? There's a bit of practice there on those before I go through them. Okay, right, so here we go. Let's look at the first one, all right? The signs, are they the same? They're the same signs, you see, minus and minus. Okay, so we've got 2 minuses. So what does that mean? That means we add them together, okay? So what does 5 plus 9 give us? 5 plus 9 will give us 14. All right? Now look at what we said earlier. So are they the same? They are. Then we add them, we did, and keep the common sign. So what's the common sign here? It's minus. So it's minus 14. Number 2, minus 5 plus 9. Are the signs different? They are. So we subtract. Okay, so we subtract. 9 minus 5 will give us 4. You see? They're different. We subtract. Okay? And then again, keep the sign at a bigger number. So which one of these is the bigger number, 5 or 9? 9. So plus 4. Okay? So let's look at the next one. Are they different? They are, because one is plus, one is minus. Okay? All right? I didn't put a plus here, but we assume if you don't have a negative in front, you assume it's a minus, or you assume it's a plus. Apologies, not a minus. Okay? So obviously this is a plus 5, and this is a minus 9. So it's 5 minus 9, 2 different signs. So we subtract. It's a 4, which is the larger number. 9 is, so it's minus 4. You getting the hang of it? Let's look at the next one. Are they opposite signs? They are. It's a minus 1 and a plus 2. So we subtract them. So 2 minus 1, 1. Which is the larger number? The 2 is. So we keep its sign. That's the larger number. So it's plus 1. The next one, are the signs the same? They are. They're both minus. So what do? We add them together. So 1 plus 2 is 3. And of course we keep the common sign, minus 3. Next one down, are they the same? No, they're not. They're different. Why? This is negative and this is positive. Okay? So therefore we subtract. So 25 minus 15, what will that get you? 25 minus 15 gets you 10. Which of these is the larger number? 25, so it's minus 10. Are they the same number? They are. Okay, so we add them. So 17 plus 16 will give you 23. And we keep the common sign, which is negative. And then the last one, are they the same? They're not. One is negative, one is plus. So what do? We subtract. Okay, so 17 minus 14 gives you 3. And we keep the sign of the larger number. So which number is larger, 17 or 14? 17. So minus 3. Okay? So there you go. That's it. We just follow those steps the whole way through. The whole way through. That's all I did. Follow the steps. All right? Okay. So we look at the next one. Okay, so your next heading, so let me turn this pen back to its red color. Okay? So, take down this sentence now. I don't know why that's not. Okay, whatever's happening there. Okay, so your next heading, multiplying and dividing negative numbers. Okay, so that's your heading. Okay, multiplying and dividing negative numbers. No, it doesn't matter. So, if the signs are the same, actually, I think I know what the problem is there. Actually, give me a second. So just let me pop that down. There we go. And this shouldn't be there. That should be down there. Right. So your heading, okay? So this was that section is finished. We're done with this section. We're now on to this section here. Okay, so we're into part 2. So that's your subheading. Okay? Multiplying and dividing negative numbers. Okay? So multiplying and dividing negative numbers. So put that down as your heading. You can draw a line underneath this. All right? So that's your basically your line is drawn. That's finished. Okay, that topic. All right? So multiplying and dividing negative numbers is your next heading. Okay? Right. So what do we say here? If the signs are the same, it becomes a positive number. Okay? So again, write out this sentence. This whole sentence needs to be written out. Okay? So if the signs are the same, it becomes positive. So write out that sentence, but underline the word same and the positive. Okay? So if the signs are the same, they both become plus. All right? So what do we mean by that? What we mean is this. So, example. Okay? -2 multiplied by -4. Okay? So they're the same. So what you do is you just multiply the numbers. Okay? Ignore the signs. Just multiply the two numbers. What's 2 multiplied by 4? That is 8. Now, are the signs the same? They are. It's -2 minus 4. So therefore, they come together to form a plus. So the answer is +8. Okay? If they're the same, you get a positive number, plus number. Okay? Now, take down the next sentence, this one here. Okay? Take down that sentence. If the signs are different. Okay, so if the signs are different, it becomes negative. Okay, so if the signs are different, it becomes negative. That's all you have to say. If the signs are different, it becomes negative. Okay, so what's the example of that? What we mean by that then, I'll give you 2, okay? Example, okay? So, -2 multiplied by 3. Again, the first thing you do is ignore all the signs. Just ignore the signs, okay? The signs, you can ignore them at the start, okay? So what's 2 times 3? 2 times 3 is 6. So now, do they have the same sign? They don't. This is negative, and this is positive. So therefore, they both become negative -6. And I'll give you another one. 6 multiplied by -3. 6 multiplied by -3. So first things first, multiply the two numbers together. 6 times 3 is 18. Are they the same number? They're not. They're 2 different numbers. It's 6 and -3. So they become, minus, that thing changes the whole thing to -18. Okay? That's all it is. If they're the same number, if they're the same sign, it doesn't matter. You just keep it as it is. If it's 2 different signs, you change them to a negative. Always a negative. Okay? If they're both the same, they're always a plus, a positive number. If they're different, they become a negative. Okay? All right, so like before, let me say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 examples here. I'll write the 8 examples out, and then I'll give you a minute or two, pause the video, answer them in pencil, and then I'll go through them, and we'll see how you got on. Okay, so we'll start with the first one. All right, so the first one is -1 multiplied by -5. So -1 multiplied by -5. The next one, -1 multiplied by 5. What's that going to give us? 7 multiplied by -3. -7 multiplied by -3. Okay, so I know I'm giving you the same numbers, but it's just to get you used to the idea of the multiplications and the sign changes. Okay? Minus 6 multiplied by 4. Minus 6 multiplied by minus 4. And 6 multiplied by minus 4. So that's the same two numbers, but you're going to get, well, actually, two of the answers are going to be the exact same. Okay? So which two? Which two answers are going to be the exact same? The next one then is 3 multiplied by minus 4. And 3 multiplied by 9. I'll throw in the last one there. Okay? So there you have it. There are your 9. I gave you 9. 1 minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. Minus 1 multiplied by 5. 7 multiplied by minus 3. Minus 7 multiplied by minus 3. Minus 6 multiplied by 4. Minus 6 multiplied by minus 4. And 6 multiplied by minus 4. Two of them are going to be the same. Which two? 3 multiplied by minus 4 and 3 multiplied by 4. Okay, so pause the video there and have a go and work through them. Okay, so I'll give you a minute as well. Take your time as you do. All right, so I'll work slowly through the first two, just to give you an idea as to how to do them, and then we'll just kind of move through the rest of them. Okay, so I'm assuming you've unpaused the video and then you're ready to go. All right, so let's look at the first one. Minus 1 multiplied by minus 5. So let's go back to our notes here. Okay, so which one of these does it involve? Is it 1 or 2? Well, it's 1. The signs are the same. Okay, so the signs are the same. So what does that mean? All right, well, first things first, 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. Now the signs are the same, so in our notes it says they become a plus, a positive. So that becomes plus 5. Let's look at number 2. Minus 1 multiplied by 5. So go back to our notes. 1 or 2, it's number 2. Because if the signs are different, it becomes negative. So multiply them together. 1 multiplied by 5 is 5. There are two different signs, so it becomes negative. You see? 3 multiplied by 7 multiplied by 3, or 3 multiplied by 7, doesn't really matter. Okay? So multiply those two numbers together. 7 times 3 is 21. Okay? That becomes two different signs, so it has to be minus 21. So 7 times 3 is the same here. It's 21. But they're both the same. Minus, see the way here? Negative and negative. So that gives us plus 21. Now, these three. Minus 6 by 4, minus 6 by minus 4, 6 by minus 4. So let's work it out. 6 times 4 is 24. You should know that off the top of your heads. But it's okay if you don't. Okay? So 24, 24, 24. Now, let's look at the first one. The first one, we call it A. A is minus 6 minus 4. So they're two different signs. So what will this be? It'll be minus 24. B is minus 6 minus 4. They're both the same. So what does that mean? That means it's plus. So C, 6 times minus 4. Is that going to be like A or B? And why? It's going to be like A, because it's two different signs. One is plus, one is minus. So it's minus 24, you see? 3 times 4 is 12. Are they the same sign? They're not. They're different. So it's minus 12. And 3 times 4 is 12. Are they the same sign? They are. They're both plus. So that's plus 12. And there you go. Okay, so that's it. That's all there is to it. So as I said, hopefully you took down all those notes, underlined the things I told you online, took down the examples and had to go with those questions. Okay, practice makes perfect with this. Okay, just remember the rules. If the signs are the same, when you're adding and subtracting, if the signs are the same, you add them, keep the common sign. If, when you're adding and subtracting them, the signs are different, you subtract them and keep the sign at a bigger number. Okay? For multiplying and dividing, it's a little bit trickier, but the general rule of thumb is if they're the exact same sign, two not minuses or two pluses, you simply multiply them out, and then if they're the same, you make it a positive. So if it's, as you can see here, minus 2, minus 4. If they're two negatives, they become a positive. If they're two positives, they stay positive. Two pluses, you still get a plus. If the signs are different, they always become a negative and minus. That's the trick. I think that's what we did here. Okay, so if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments section below, or you can leave them on the Teams page. Okay, and I'll get back to them as quick as possible. All the best.